Hello, and let's dive into ingredients in Plexus products. You ready? So let's talk about polydextrose. Polydextrose is a prebiotic made from non-GMO plant fibers. That means it is an indigestible fiber. It carries the other ingredients to the GI tract to be absorbed well, which is a very good thing. So prebiotics are important. In copious amounts, yes, it can be harmful. However, when used in slim, it's so softly used, and the benefits people are seeing far exceed the ingredient itself. It's so softly used that it doesn't even spike blood sugar, which is exactly what glucose is meant to do. It is also categorized as a prebiotic due to its potential to stimulate the growth of or activity of beneficial bacteria in the digestive system. Polydextrose is an amazing ingredient. Let's talk about citric acid and natural flavoring. While citric acid and natural flavors can often be code words for hidden MSG and other undesirable ingredients, in Plexus products, they are not. There is no hidden MSG in any Plexus products. The citric acid and natural flavor in Slim are truly derived from fruit. There's an article here that you can click on and read later. It describes in depth how citric acid is made from mold grown on GMO corn syrup. If one did not read carefully, one would miss one of the early paragraphs which says how it can be made from citrus fruits, but that it's tedious and expensive process. Even so, it matters to Dave Brown, the creator of Plexus Slim, that the Slim ingredients be non-GMO and from excellent sources. So the citric acid in Slim is only from this expensive, healthful process of making it from citrus fruit, not from the process of growing mold on GMO corn. So the citric acid is derived from non-GMO lemons and oranges. Yay for David Brown. So keeping the ingredients top-notch, he also told us at convention that although the supplier of both the rice and orange and lemon are not certified organic, they do not use pesticides and are of an organic mindset. They just do not believe in needing to pay for the certificate. He knows and has relationships with his suppliers. He has also gone out and physically inspected many of them. He tests everything that comes in for certain compounds, and he has actually rejected entire deliveries before. So you can rest assured that the citric acid and natural flavoring listed on Slim is clean and an amazing product. Let's talk about caffeine. Caffeine is not 2% of Slim. So pay attention to this closely. It's not 2% of Slim. It is 2% of the chlorogenic acid. It comes from green coffee beans. So it is a very, very, very small amount of caffeine. Plexus is required to list less than 2% caffeine on the label because they use chlorogenic acid that is derived from green coffee bean. This means that there may be a chance that residual caffeine is present in Slim. However, they do testing on Slim for the caffeine amounts using a third-party independent lab, and so far, no caffeine has been present in any of the results. GMOs. There are no GMO ingredients in any Plexus products. This can be verified in your virtual office under resources. You can go check that out. All right, let's dive into Garcinia cambogia, or citrine K. This is a flowering evergreen tree with drooping branches. The fruit is yellow, oval in shape, and resembles small pumpkins. Garcinia is part of the same family as mangosteens. The fruit is harvested, dried, and ground into a powder. The plant part used is the fruit rind. So here's some therapeutic uses and benefits of Garcinia cambogia. Garcinia cambogia, with its distinctly sour-sweet taste, has been used for centuries in Southeast Asia to make meals more filling. The active constituent in this herb is called hydroxycitric acid, or they abbreviate that HCA. And it's gaining a reputation for assisting weight loss through appetite suppression and by reducing the body's ability to form adipose or fatty tissue during times of overeating. The mechanisms for Garcinia's weight loss ability is still being understood, but it's believed to be through inhibiting the body's ability to convert carbohydrates to fats. This leads to an increase in glycogen in the liver, which sends a message to the brain indicating that it's full, and in turn reduces the appetite. In recent years, studies are focusing on the most effective form of HCA to take for maximum therapeutic benefit. What is significant is that a recent Japanese study using an animal model indicated that during exercise, the regular use of HCA promotes fat burning and spares carbohydrate utilization at rest and during exercise, giving Garcinia an indication for endurance exercise. Garcinia has also been historically used to treat gastric ulcers. A 2002 study indicates that this herb works primarily through the action of one of these plants' constituents, garcinol, and the garcinol in there is known to lower acidity in the stomach and protect the gastric mucus. The rind of Garcinia cambogia is also astringent, which is why it was also historically used in the treatment of diarrhea and dysentery, as well as having the added benefit in the treatment of gastric and duodenal ulcers. The ability for Garcinia's component HCA to reduce blood lipid levels and lower blood cholesterol is another feature of this amazing natural medicine. More recently, it has been proposed that Garcinia cambogia has a HEPA2 protective ability against external toxins such as alcohol. A recent study showed that Garcinia prevented liver cells from becoming fibrotic and stopped cell damage caused by high blood lipid levels. Okay, let's move on to the yeast in ProBio 5. So the yeast in ProBio 5 is a friendly yeast. Here's a brief explanation. It's Saccharomyces boulardii, or SB. It's gaining recognition for its power to normalize intestinal bacteria. Like L. acidophilus, this friendly yeast produces lactic acid, which acidifies the intestinal content and reduces the candida population. And candida is bad bacteria. It also increases levels of IgA. It's an antibody produced by the intestine that is helpful in combating candida overgrowth. So S. boulardii is a unique non-pathogenic yeast that has many beneficial actions in the intestinal tract. S. boulardii has been utilized worldwide as a probiotic supplement to support gastrointestinal health. It benefits the gastrointestinal tract by increasing intestinal populations of healthy bifidobacteria while decreasing numbers of disease-causing organisms. A common supplement regimen lasts 3 to 4 weeks or for up to 2 weeks after diarrhea has resolved. It can be taken with antibacterial antibiotics. It is compatible with probiotic supplements. As a transient yeast organism that passes through the intestines after indigestion, S. boulardii does not attach to the mucosal cell lining, the intestinal lumen, but it exerts its beneficial effects on the host as it moves through the gastrointestinal tract. S. boulardii is completely unrelated to Candida albicans, like C. tropicalis, C. crus, and other Candida species that cause disease and overgrowth. These overgrowth species decrease the acidity of the gastrointestinal mucosal membrane, susceptible to invasion by disease, causing bacteria and yeast. So S. boulardii exerts the opposite effect of these bad bacteria. It produces lactic and other acids known to inhibit disease-causing Candida yeast species. Animal studies have shown that S. boulardii is closely related to S. cerevisiae, commonly known as baker's yeast or brewer's yeast. Those two strains have different genetic makeups and enzyme profiles, but S. boulardii is a beneficial yeast. That's a favorite menu item. That's favorite menu item is Candida. So in other words, it loves to eat Candida. Also, because the probio5 it's enterically coated, so it's shelf stable. Only probiotics which do not have that coating must be refrigerated. Many good ones are shelf stable, and it depends on where the good bacteria will be released in the digestive tract. The probio5 coating helps it get everything safely past the acidic stomach and into the intestines. Probio5 is also special because it has special enzymes to eat the hard biofilm off the outside of Candida. Very, very few probiotics come with good strains and this enzyme, and S. boulardii all in one package. That's what makes our probiotic so special. There's no way it can give a yeast infection, although it can cause die-off, which can look like a yeast infection. But if it is started in too large and quick of a dose, which is why we always recommend starting slow and easing into the product. Probio5 is amazing. Okay, let's talk about DMAA. Plexus is safe. It is important to address an issue that comes up about Plexus containing dangerous chemicals such as 1,3-dimethylmelamine. That's why we call it DMAA. It's important to understand that this chemical is not natural but synthetic, but often hides behind the name of geranium oil or extract. So there's a link that you can click on in this section, and you can learn more about the geranium oil. So this puts any real claims of actual geranium extract, which are all natural, up for criticism. So basically, people have been able to say that DMAA is geranium oil or extract. So when somebody sees that, they often think that DMAA is in the product. So Plexus has always claimed that their products are all natural, but because of the controversy with government bodies accepting Plexus products into their country, Plexus decided to take the high road, and we altered the accelerator product to a new one that does not contain any geranium oil or extracts at all. So that's not even on the container, and it's not even a question. So no, there is no DMAA in any Plexus product, nor has there ever been. And now clearly there is no geranium extracts or oils in the products at all. So any info that you find online will be old and uninformed. Because Plexus is a company that is about health and wellness, this is an important issue and has been dealt with without much drama at all, but with grace and dignity, and I appreciate that about our company. So there's an extensive list of countries that do accept Plexus products into their countries. as of January 2014, so a little bit older. But there's a list that you can read, and these are the countries that accept Plexus products. One of the issues with regulatory bodies is often they post negative information, which is easily found during internet searches. They often make no effort to post any public corrective notice that the perceived issue has been corrected. So in this case, Plexus acted fast to correct a potential issue. However, even today, any research will toss up the negative with no positive posted to correct the initial negative. So if you have anyone that comes to you and says, I Googled Plexus and saw that it has damaging ingredients or chemicals or DMAA in it, refer to this. You can copy and paste it and share this information with them. All right. Why doesn't ProBio 5 need to be refrigerated? We touched on this a little bit, but I'm just going to touch on it one more time because this is an often question. So this kind of probiotic requires, a refrigerated probiotic requires low temperatures for them to live and exist. They're fragile. In higher temperatures, the bacteria will simply die and no longer provide any benefit at all. This makes them next to useless for human ingestion, as there will undoubtedly be moments when the bacteria will die from the heat, and this isn't even considered the stomach acid and bile before the intestines. So to counteract this problem, non-refrigerated probiotics have been developed. So non-refrigerated probiotics, scientists have developed methods of allowing the bacteria to survive these conditions, and non-refrigerated probiotics are the supposed solution. Able to withstand such relatively extreme factors, they are active and alive up to the intestine where they begin their beneficial goodness. Much of the good bacteria we obtain actually comes directly from the earth, which is not refrigerated. So ProBio 5 is also gluten and dairy free. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, make sure you contact your upline or contact me or leave a comment, and we'll help answer some questions.